The 2022 World Cup is just a month away, and I think, in my opinion, it's going to be one of the worst World Cups ever. And here's why. Let's get to it. Yo, what up? My name is Drew, and if you're new, subscribe down below. Just do it. I don't mean this World Cup is going to be one of the worst because of the teams that are in it or because of the players or blah, 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 anything like that. I think it's just the way it's being run and the way it was built up. Everything behind the scenes, everything about the whole atmosphere of it is, in my opinion, why it could be one of the worst World Cups that we've had maybe in recent times, okay? One of the first reasons I gotta mention is obviously the human rights abuse going on behind the scenes with the building of infrastructure of the stadiums just to get prepared for this giant, amazing tournament, the most watched sport event in the world of all time, bro. Behind all that stuff, the forced labor, living conditions of the migrant workers, not being paid. If you want to see more in-depth video of that, you can go to my soccer colleague here on YouTube, Maqwell's video. I'll leave a link down below. He made a great video about it. It really goes into depth of all that terror, like those bad conditions that's going on. You'll see for yourself, but go watch that after this video. Just wait a little bit, all right? Now this next one is mostly just my little thing I got going on. Like, it's just from me, and that's the change of the regular soccer season in most of the leagues around the world, like the European League, the EPL, La Liga. All these leagues would still be playing in this November to December timeframe of this World Cup. It's going to be happening. The regular season, Champions League, FA Cup, Copa del Rey, just regular games going on, and the regular season games as well. So now it's all going to be broken up and switched around just to accommodate this corrupt World Cup. Okay, that just doesn't sit right with me. One of the most recent things announced for this World Cup is one of the more kind of unappealing things that a fan could experience going to travel to Qatar for this World Cup, and that's the government may be spying on you. And I'm gonna detail it right now. The government appears to be forcing visitors to download apps like Eterez or Haya. If I said that wrong, I don't care. I don't fuck with these. Eterez is a COVID-19 tracking app, which probably really is, okay, probably is, but can also manipulate content on your phone. Like, it just does it. You can also override any software you have on your phone and disable your lock screen on your phone. The little pin, forget about it. Disabled because of this app. The next one that they want you to download is both of these back to back. It's the app called Haya, which is a match tracking phone app. You can track the matches on there, all the games, the scores. It also acts as your visa, a match ticket, a free pass for transport for medical services, but also, more importantly, is it can also share your information without you knowing. It doesn't need your permission. It itself already has its own permission to share a user's information. Now maybe that's because it's also used for like a passport or emergency medical treatment, a free pass for that. Maybe that's why it needs access for that. But still, in this day and age, everyone knows that you just don't want anyone looking through your phone or having information from you without you knowing or giving permission to. So that's no bueno. There's also been a lot of talk of fan accommodation, Airbnbs being booked or overly priced, like $1,000 US dollars for one night. I don't know what that translates to pounds or Qatari money. Just do that translation yourself. There's also no room, no space. They're thinking about doing, maybe little villages for fans, but is that gonna be able to accommodate over 1 million people coming to visit this country for this event? I don't know. And as a fan, if I would travel there, which I would definitely not, I would not feel comfortable. Like, I need to know where I'm staying. I gotta afford that place. I don't care how. It could be there for like a month, so it's gonna be so expensive. How am I gonna afford that? Where am I gonna go if it's booked up? I already got my match tickets. Like, it seems very scary. This next worry is probably one of the biggest ones for certain people who like to have a good time and party while watching a soccer match, and that's the consumption of alcohol being banned in the stadiums. No alcohol? Now, although they're not going to have any alcohol able to be bought in any of the 8 stadiums are going to be built for this World Cup, they will have some venues out there to sell some alcohol up until 30 minutes before a match and also an hour after a match, apparently. So you know, drink up responsibly. And of course, we gotta talk about sex and gender. Hope that does not get me. I hope that does not get me demonetized. But apparently, women should be dressed modestly when in a government building, which I totally respect. You know, their religion is different, so I think that's okay. That's cool. You know, I would, if I was a woman, I would dress modestly as well. But they're not sure how it should be applied in other gatherings. It could be a little bit less. It could be a little more lenient, maybe at the stadium. But in certain buildings, there, as a woman, definitely dress modestly. Cover your shoulders and your knees. That's just what's been reported. So definitely follow those instructions when in official building. I think it's very respectful to do, actually. So sex outside of marriage is also illegal, and could apparently be punished by flogging, which is the act of whipping or punishing someone by whipping them or hitting them with a stick. And there's also reports, though, relax, that punishment has not been used for a while. So maybe it's a thing now, maybe it's not. I wouldn't really bank on that. I'll tell my girl, look, we're not married, you're just trying to stop coming on to me, okay? I just can't do this every night, okay? I just can't. Oh, shit. Hi. Also, a little recommendation from the U.S. Embassy is if a pregnant woman is traveling here, to carry a marriage license with you just to prove that you're married in case you do go into labor or need medical attention or care. To me, that's just like, dude, that's freaking, like, I know that's their religion, that's their practice, their beliefs, but that's freaking, like, you know, you're like, that's an outsider, like, that's wild to me. That's so strict. I myself could never, like, just chill there. Like, I feel like I'd be so scared to break a law that, like, I'm so used to just doing that's normal here in USA. Like, maybe that's me being like a typical American, like, irresponsible or like blind to everything else, but I'm sure other countries feel the same way. Of course, there is the issue with the LGBTQ community, the lack of support there and the lack of respect that would garner from that country. And I understand that that's their beliefs and their religion and whatever you want to call it, but I don't support them not supporting that. That's your opinion, cool. To me, that's just a bad opinion. Sorry, not sorry. I support the LGBTQ community. Like, that's something I've always done, especially if I have family members who are part of that community, so it's even more personal for me. So of course I would be in support of this, this community. And apparently people said you are allowed to fly a flag of that community's flag in the stadium, but authorities have cautioned fans to do so in certain areas. And I feel like if you're doing that, maybe don't. I know you want to be prideful and everything, but maybe that's not the right place to do it, because it could bring some bad attention to yourself that you don't want, that could spoil you trying to have a good time enjoying this beautiful tournament. So that's just fucking crazy. Also, it doesn't matter if you're a same-sex couple or if you are a husband and wife, public display of affection, PDA, is not allowed. Obviously, I wish they had that rule in high school. You see couples in the lockers just making out for like, dude, get a freaking room. I get that, but certain things like, well, I can't kiss my girl in public or hold, squeeze that little booty a little bit, like, that's not allowed. No bueno. So that's all the stuff I found out that I myself am not okay with. Obviously, there's the issue of transportation and the pandemic, but I feel like you would have those issues for the most part in any big tournament, anywhere in any country. So that's a given, I feel like. But everything else I feel like is legit. I'll leave the articles that I found my research on in the description, guys, along with the Maqwell video about the human rights abuse as well. Be sure you guys check that out. But first, before you leave, I want to know if you are going to the World Cup and how do you feel about it. I would like to know your experience as a fan. Please let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for kicking with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.